Hey everybody, Red Pill Dad here, coming to you live from paternity leave number 3. Just wanted to touch on a couple topics in the news this week. The parental rights in the Supreme Court, and the unfortunate demise of one of our red-pilled heroes. First, I had a little extra time with the new edition, so I figured I'd listen in on some of the oral arguments of the Supreme Court, given that the education of children's pretty important to me. I wanted to hear what they had to say in the Mahmoud v. Taylor case. If you're not familiar with this case, it has to do with Montgomery County, Maryland, their school board implementing LGBTQ education into their curriculum, and their refusal to allow parents and students to opt out of this portion of the curriculum. Even though they already have the option to opt out of some of the health portions, they do not allow them to opt out of the LGBTQ plus portion. Seems weird to me that you can opt out of the biology portion, but not the sexual depravity and anti-family, anti-religious portion. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dad of 3. Anyway, I listened to the attorney for the school board and some of the more liberal justices on the court argue, and their main argument was that this placed no undue burden on the family, but placed a huge burden on the school system. It placed no undue burden on the family because they had the option to opt out of the school completely. They could homeschool, or they could send their kids to private school. In the real world, where most of us live with common sense and logic, if a child's lucky enough to live in a 2-parent household, requiring one of them to stay home to educate the child seems like an undue burden. Also, requiring a family to pay private school tuition just to not have their child indoctrinated with this woke LGBTQ doctrine also seems like an undue burden when you can just opt out of a curriculum the same way you already opt out of other portions of the curriculum. But we'll see where the case goes. Secondly, the unfortunate demise of Dr. Jordan Peterson. Dr. Peterson was one of the foremost thinkers that helped with my red pill indoctrination, if you will. His lectures on compelled speech really opened my mind to how hierarchies and systems of government control thought through speech. But he's done a complete 180 when it comes to Israel and anti-Semitism. To call for guardrails and expertise on podcasts, he's really gone the route of, the Douglas Murray. You're not an expert. It's very strange. You would spend your time talking about things when you're not an expert. You've never been. You've never been. Oh, Dr. Peterson. Sad day. Well, see you next time, Red Pill folks.